Okay, I think we can go ahead and get started. Well, welcome everyone to Connecting the Dots, 5G Ready for AI and IoT. My name is Taylor Randolph. I'm the marketing specialist at AAEON, and we're so excited that you guys are here. Okay, so just a few housekeeping rules to remember. Use the Q&A box for submitting questions. You won't be able to ask, we don't have sound on, but we're gonna have time for a Q&A section at the end. So be sure to use that Q&A box to ask any questions that you may have. And we will be sure to go over them at the end. If you have any technical difficulties during the course of the webinar, please use the chat box to let us know and we'll try to resolve that. Also, the whole webinar is being recorded. So at the end, you'll be sent the link along with other information in the survey. So be sure to check that out at the end. Okay. All right, so let's introduce our panelists. We have two panelists today. Aling Wu is the AI and IoT Alliance Director and E-commerce Director at AAEON. She's going to be talking about the key benefits of 5G, the new opportunities that 5G is creating, the new concepts of device architecture that are emerging, and the expected changes that we'll be seeing to the market. Also, we're pleased to welcome Ketan Mahapatra, the Senior Technical Product Manager for 5G and IoT at Intel. So his expertise is in wireless radio certification. So he's going to be talking about key insights into 5G wireless radio certification, the importance of wireless scaling kits disrupting wireless certification processes, and also what role Intel is playing in 5G and what is Intel's vision for 5G in the future. So without further ado, I will hand it over to Elaine. Thank you, Tom.
Thank you. Thank you everybody for joining us in today's webinar. So I will have a quick introduction about myself. I've been working in AAEON for 12 years in the embedded business. So during these years, we see the change from the embedded computer to become the IoT device. Then we add AI on the edge until today, the 5G. So I would like to share with you how we see the industry change, then how we create value, then how we can offer together with our customer to fit the change, then go ahead of the market. Ketan?
Hey, Eric, thank you. So thank you for having me in this webinar. I'm very excited to talk about wireless scaling kit product. I've been working with Intel for 11 years, mainly leading wireless strategic initiatives. So last year, we came up with a very revolutionary idea to disrupt the whole certification process. And in today's webinar, I'm very happy to talk about this process together with our alliance partner, AAEON.
Okay, so since today we are talking about the 5G for AI and IoT, so then I would like to launch our first poll question. So Taylor, if you can bring the poll. So I would like to know, are you already using 3G or 4G in your project today? Yeah, having this will give us a better idea about the depth and the information we should give. Interesting. We can see quite many, actually most people are already using 4G today. So we are very glad everybody are very advanced. You are already in the 4G market. So you must be look forward to see what 5G can bring you. So I think for the people in the embedded business, when Internet of Things just introduced, we were wondering, yeah, it's just M2M, it's machine to machine. You add a SIM card, then it can talk with other device. What's so interesting? Yeah, indeed. At that moment, I also have a doubt myself, though we see a lot of cloud service providers start to address Internet of Things. But at this moment, for me, it's still quite M2M stuff. Now, until 2 or 3 years ago, the AI on the edge, the idea of AI on the edge start to pop up, because AI is not something really new. We have AI in the cloud. We use Siri from iPhone for a long time. Yeah, then there's a big supercomputer. Yeah, but the AI on the edge is something more close to us. So if AI can run on the edge, then we have a machine on the edge, M2M plus AI on the edge. Okay, it starts to make sense. But there's still a challenge. Okay, we have a lot of information, then we have AI, but how can we still need to connect with cloud. Then with 4G, doable, but not perfect. So finally, we see the 5G is coming. So 5G is something what I see, connect the dot. Yeah, so with the 5G introduced, so AI start to learn from the data we collected from the IoT device, analyze it, and only send the critical data back, and at very quick speed. Yeah, then also the latency is reduced, so everything become connect together, work efficiently. So with these three dots, this triangle, solve our concern in the embedded industry, which is latency, speed, power consumption, and security. So consider 5G device, the module and the antenna is going to have a less power consumption. Yes, and also because of speed, latency reduced, and also security. The benefit from 5G is for 5G, you will be able to create a private network. Then this will make your project which at your premise more robust without security issue. So for this, Intel also share their vision about how the architecture it should be, from the edge device to edge cloud till the data center cloud. Then with different the latency requirement from 1 millisecond till the 60 millisecond. Yeah, so Keaton, you are from Intel. Maybe you can elaborate more about this vision.
Sure, I'm very excited to explain about the slide. So as you know, right, Intel has been successfully completed a journey from a client computing company to a really data-centric company. And as we move along this journey, we will see a lot of data, moving towards the edge. And this data can be from any node, right? And from data center to the network edge and to the intelligent edge node, we will see a lot of devices. So, and in this context of webinar, I just want to be very clear. We want to focus on the devices that's there on the left side, devices and things near the edge. And what are key items for that in terms of low latency, security, and context awareness? So we're going to talk a lot more in the next sections about how wireless scaling kit is helping those devices to meet the product launch need in terms of validation, certification, and how we are solving that challenges for the whole industry.
Okay, thank you. So we all see how the communication speed increase. I don't know if any of you experienced the time of 1G. Yeah, I don't think I experienced. Yeah, then I saw the mobile phone of 2G. Then until now, I think a lot of countries still use 4G, 5G is just going to be introduced. But you can see the speed. In the 4G right now, we are familiar with, which is 1 gigabit per second speed. Then for the 5G, what we are talking about is 20 gigabit per second. What it means? It means we can have a 20 times faster data transfer rate. Then the latency is also reduced 10 times. Then not to mention for the device, it can connect together is increased dramatically. So in the 4G time, for the 1 square meter, one communication tower can handle 100,000 devices. Yeah, so that's why when we go to concert, yeah, when everybody try to make phone calls, then you find your mobile phone signal is very weak, even cannot send out a message. Yeah, so, but for the 5G, when one communication tower can handle 1 million devices, this makes the story totally different. Then this also make it possible we can introduce we can introduce more and more application which relate to 5G. So here we have another poll question. Taylor? Sorry. Yeah. So our question will be, 5G, it looks like it's going to happen very soon. But from your point of view, how soon you think 5G will be introduced into your project? We have to say all industry are very excited, but you are coming from the user point of view. We want to know from your point of view, how soon it will be. This will really help us to make the device ready as soon as possible to meet your requirement. Okay, I have a very interesting information. So I think over 60% of our attendee today think they are going to introduce 5G in 2021 and 2022. Then around 30% has no plan. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, this is really valuable information for us. Then we would like to share with you what we are planning for 5G. So like I mentioned earlier, the advantage of a 5G is a private network. This you probably don't see it earlier. Yeah, LTE a little bit, but because 5G private network setup will become easier and easier. Then here Keaton can share with us what is the value of the private network. Keaton?
Absolutely. So thank you, Ali. So I just wanted to emphasize on this slide about private network, and it's falling into the context of all the things we talked about it, which Aling explained about, about the edge devices. And this private network will solve a lot of challenges to meet the requirements of edge devices. And those are mentioned here, right? So basically throughput, coverage, latency, and security. So consider that's like, in your home environment, you have a secure Wi-Fi, you're protecting that with your password. So if you want to have seamless connectivity, meeting all the requirements, then you need to have a private network set up in your industrial premises, or all the other use cases I mentioned in this deck, right? About entertainment value, like entertainment value, enterprises and heavy industries or transportation, all of them would get benefit with private network. And it's very important for Intel because we are enabling a lot of IA platform-centric solutions with private network. And again, this is going back to our vision of moving the data from cloud to the edge. So if you want to have successful operation at the edge, you need to have a good network which can meet all the specific requirements. So just wanted to let you know that private network has been already commercialized. So we have CBRS in US supporting 3.5 spectrum. and Intel is one of the founding member of CBRS forum. So we are working with our solution alliance partners to understand what will be our device strategy, right? So right now we're looking into 5G, and slowly we'll move to 5G. Right now we're looking into 4G or private LTE, and slowly we'll move to 5G. And we want to know all the use cases you guys have for edge computing and how this is important, right? And just want to be very clear, data is very important for all of us, and we want to process the data at the edge. So that's kind of the key message from the slide. So, and therefore, to keep this data running and in a reliable speed and process at the edge, we need private network.
Thank you.
Over to you, Ellen.
Yeah, so I think for the private network at the edge device side, there's not much for edge device need to do. So most of the work will be in the infrastructure side. So AAEON has been partnered with Ericsson, for the private network. So we do have a strong ecosystem to help you. Then also for the edge device side, what the extra thing will be probably the software part. Then in AAEON's device, we will also provide the support in the software side to help you complete the private network. Okay, let's go for the next. So like I mentioned about the 5G, really bring more power in the speed and everything. So what we see is there are going to be more and more devices to be connected. So in 2020, we see only 10% of the data is collected on the edge. But later on, we will see in 2025, there will be over 75% of data will be collected from the edge. Then through the edge device by using AI, then with 5G, then the whole picture of different vertical market is going to take advantage of this. Let's say video surveillance. Today, most of video surveillance, they are still recording a lot of video, just keep recording. Then also, even not the AI there. Then there already some AI solution introduced. AAEON also have an AI surveillance solution introduced, which help only pick up the critical data. We find the intrusion, we find the abnormal behavior. Those data are detected, then sent to the cloud very quickly, like abnormal behavior to give an alert. But with 5G, it means this kind of video surveillance application will be more and more, because it's sending the data, even sending, because right now we are only sending a log, something wrong. But in the future, even possible to send a footage about this is what the system means something wrong. So this will make the video surveillance become more connected, smart. Then also for the industrial automation, 5G, actually private network is perfect for the industrial automation. You want all your devices connected together, talk to each other, work efficient, then take advantage of AI, but you don't want those communication data go to anywhere. Then 5G private network is going to bring the benefit. Consider today a lot of machine, there's no modem, there's no internet connection with that. So 5G is going to bring benefit to do the retrofit for the industrial automation. Not to mention the energy oil, those areas, they are very far away. It's not possible to do the cabling to collect the information. Smart street light, urban infrastructure, those with a wide, broad area, you cannot do cabling everywhere. Then 5G has its place. Not to mention the autonomous robotics. Those, if it want to move autonomously, then also really act correctly, then as our wish, it need to have a very quick communication with all other robots. this rover say, I go there. Yeah, I know you go there, so I will go the other place. They need to communicate very quickly without any error, without any latency. So we believe all these vertical markets are going to be benefit from the introduction of a 5G. So then I have my next question. Taylor, if you can bring the question. So which vertical market is your business about? Yeah, so if you can share with us, can help us to understand, yeah, you are from their vertical market, you join today's seminar, you must have some idea about why your market need to have 5G. Thank you for your reply. We still have a number, keep going. But I'm very, very excited to see automation think about 5G, because normally automation really for us is a little bit slow moving, but I think today all our participants are very innovative, want to bring the 5G to the market already. We are very happy to see that. Thank you for your answer. Then we will go for the next slide. So we keep talking about the Internet of Things, the device, the edge device. Why we need to have an edge device? There are a few reasons. You cannot send all the data back, only send the critical data. Yeah, so that you can scale up your solution. I find one thing very interesting is people cannot move to 4G or 5G because they say, yeah, but I have a lot of data to send. You don't send all the data. Then also I see people say, yeah, my edge device must go for i7. Why you need i7? Yeah, I need to process a lot of things. You don't process everything in edge. You process things in the cloud. Then edge send the critical data, which you need now to the cloud. Yeah, so I think this gives the reason, yeah, you need to have a 5G connectivity, very quick, send the critical data to the cloud so that you can scale up your solution from speed point of view, also from the cost point of view. Also, privacy and security. I think we are in Europe. In these few years, we start to face a GDPR, especially when it comes to face recognition. Then we will be asked, how do you handle that? If you keep that information on the device, then device own, actually even not keep. Today, a lot of us privacy in edge device is handling by the image in, collect the data, then erase the image. Then those data are just a parameter, then sent to the cloud. So in that case, you don't send any private information to the cloud. You don't send your user's face to the cloud. If you send your user's face to a cloud, then there's a privacy issue. Then also, we have a TPM on board. This is also very important. Yeah, you need to have make this the device not also software secure, also hardware secure. So with a TPM and 5G private network, then you can guarantee your privacy and the security. Of course, very important, like I mentioned, like not all the devices today have internet connection. So edge device can enable not so smart device on the edge. So by adding one edge gateway, then you can make your device smarter, yeah, so to communicate with other devices. Then also decentralized. Yeah, so this is also the concept Intel keep bringing the data-centric and decentralized. So you don't send a whole batch of things back to the cloud. Something can be already processed in the edge. Yeah, something you do in the edge cloud. So decentralize it. Then especially for the application, which is a time critical. Yeah, so there's a term called TSN, so code is a stand for time sensitive network. So to make the time sensitive, the application can really have a very low latency. So TSN support is also what we think very important in the edge device. So when you select to edge gateway, so what are the important features you should look at? We will suggest look at the 5G connectivity, of course. Yeah, otherwise it's a lot of hassle if you need to add one 5G modem outside of your device. AI inference, try to do some AI inference on the edge. This will really make your edge system become lighter. Then also you can save the transmission data, then also can respond quickly. Then of course, security and the TPM. Then of course, depends on different vertical market. You look into the different respect, like power consumption, like the enclosure operating system, what kind of input-output interface to connect with your other machine, real-time operating system, the sensor connectivity, yeah, how can you do the OTA, the online update? So all these are the requirements you should consider when you are choosing an edge gateway. So here in AAEON, for the 5G, we identify a few products which have a 5G support. So no matter you want to go for Intel Core i9 and with a high graphic support, then you can go for AAEON Boxer solution. Or you can choose a Whiskey Lake with Intel Movidius inside with our upstream light. And you can also choose our UpSquare Connect Plus, which is a Pro Lake, then with 5G support. Then through the next year, you are going to see more and more AAEON platform coming with 5G support. So I think that's good news for people who would like to see the 5G device today. But it then means, if a manufacturer make it a 5G connectivity, then everything is soft. Because there's still something. For just like a 3G and 4G, 5G as an embedded device, you also need a certification. And certification matters. AAEON, we select products which we pass the 5G, we will pass a 5G certification. Yeah, so then Keaton is going to explain us why certification matters. Keaton, I will give you the control.
Thank you, Ali. Yeah, thank you so much.
So Keaton, I will move so you can move.
Yeah, you can move to the certifications. All right. Okay, so Aling explained a lot about devices, edge devices, and then on the 5G part, right? So we have been studying this issue with our IoT customer. IoT market is very fragmented, and we found a critical problem and a customer pain point related to wireless certification. And just to be very clear, this has a broader impact, because if you cannot certify a device with radio inside, you cannot launch that in market. Then it's very complex, because certification there are a lot of details behind this, but on broad, basically we're looking at three sets of certification, like regulatory, industrial, and carrier. And then every customer has their own requirement to launch devices, right? That's why we wanted to understand what is the real problem. So this slide talks about all the problems we have in the industry. We found together with our ecosystem partner and AAEON and got their feedback, right? So customers are facing a key challenge that's related to regulatory certification. Even you buy an off-the-shelf module from market, you still need to put that in an IoT device and integrate antenna. That would trigger a delta set of certification, which is in terms of that will cost you a lot of money and time, right? It's not faster time to market. It's not scalable. You need to have a fully ready certification team who can support you, right? And every device will attract that, right? So these are kind of key pain points from the industry we observed. And this is there from legacy days. The module has gone to PC customers or tablets. Then we're talking about IoT. It's next generation, but still the process of regulatory certification, we cannot skip it. We need to meet the regulatory compliance of different geos like US, North America, Europe, Japan, China, Asia. So this is very complex, right? So I wanted to highlight that to you guys. Then equipment makers and developers, right? So we put a lot of focus on developers. We want to enable developers with the latest, greatest technology at Intel so that they can, run their code with the latest CPU and all the good software we have it in terms of a dev kit. But they cannot spend a lot of time, finding the right devices because they are not certified. So they cannot use a Wi-Fi module, right, from Intel or LTE or other radios. Then they are challenged to meet all this compliance requirement, right? Similar story with our equipment makers and ecosystem partners. They would require a fully certified box in terms of radio. It can be Wi-Fi, it can be LTE, it can be anything, right? And then basically they can add it to their box saying that this is a fully certified solution, and we are ready to launch. So what we have seen in the industry is that we have three ecosystem partners like ODM, OEM, and SI, and the certification is passed like a ball from one to other, right? Because of the cost, because of the schedule, because of the expertise, right? So that's kind of the problem, right? And finally, if you look at the process, it's so complex, right? And it costs money for every device, and it's schedule consuming. So that has been the pain, right? That's why we got some nice pictures on the bottom. The slide explain that customers are confused, end users are confused, how they can add a radio, right? So to their devices. So that's kind of the whole issue of of wireless certification challenges, and we wanted to solve this problem. So, and here comes the solution, right? So we came up with a compelling idea for the industry called wireless scaling kit, which means, right, we wanted to disrupt the whole process of certification, the legacy process, but we need to meet all the compliance, right? That we cannot get waiver from the certification authority about that. So we thought how we can fast track the whole process of wireless certification for IoT devices. And that's where we thought, let's create a radio kit or a wireless scaling kit, we call it, which is integrating all the device level antennas, right? So you can buy off the shelf modules, but those modules, as they do not have an antenna in terms of device readiness. So let's integrate that and optimize for IA-based platform, Intel architecture-based platform, and let's scale it, right? And that's much faster time to market. And we are first, initially we thought, how can we scale it? Because every geo has their own specific regulatory requirements. Every carrier has their specific requirement. So we thought, why don't we look at a common framework which can enable a lot of certification geos, right, to launch products. And then we found out, right, that GCF, PTCRB, CE, FCC is the best way to enable this path, right? So if you have you want to bring a radio compliant antenna which can fit into different solutions, then you certify that and create an open kit approach, with with 1 or 2 sets of antenna which are ready for your devices. Going back to Aling's slide, she explained all the segments, right, and verticals. So all these vertical segments have specific use cases for antenna. So we bundle them into the kit and optimize for our platform. And then there you go, right? That's the solution to the problem, and we could scale it. And last year we had a successful pilot with AAEON, and we proved that it's working. So then we have a lot of solutions ready in the market which are optimized for Intel platform, and they are on the LTE Wi-Fi track. But we really want to solve this problem much bigger scale this time with 5G, right? Because 5G is much more complex in terms of antenna and solutions. So we will explain you the value prop in the next slides, how we're going to solve this for 5G and give you some example. So want to be very clear, this is a very open kit and very agile and very much faster time to market. And and we have some products which we'll show you in the next slide. I think there's a poll coming up. Taylor, you want to bring the poll? So the question is carrier certification important for you, for your IoT devices? Okay, very interesting. So the answer, we got 93% yes for carrier certification, and yeah, no for 7%. So we want to be clear that if you're not selling devices in your carrier, then you can still launch products with carrier in open market in Europe and some other countries. So, and I wanted to highlight that this is aligned with the wireless scaling kit strategy that we have MVNO and AT&T for self-certification path. This allows you to launch open products by leveraging a wireless scaling kit. All right, thank you so much for your feedback. Next slide. I'm gonna go explain about the certified platforms. We have it together with our ecosystem partner, AAEON. So we leveraged the wireless certification or wireless scaling kit certification for all these platforms. So you can see all the certification we achieved here with CE, FCC, I said Canada. So basically these devices are ready to be launched using a wireless scaling kit framework. And I'll give the chance to Aling to explain more details about these products. Aling.
Yeah, so AAEON has been working on with Intel with the wireless scaling kit. What we mentioned about the wireless scaling kit is we selected specific radio components, yeah, specific the Wi-Fi and LTE and Bluetooth, and so then we do the certification. So you can see we have the solution based on a ProLink with a different kind of I/O interface, and even for the IP68 chassis. Then we also have some devices come with a LoRa. So with the wireless scaling kit, then you can see all this product is certified. So in embedded, you often see a lots of manufacturer, they say, yeah, we can add a Wi-Fi module for you. Then they keep silent. They don't do it. Do you have a CE? Yes, we do have a CE. Do you have a CE rate? Rate is the radio directive, radio emission directive specific for the radio device. Many manufacturers try not to do so. Yeah, but for AAEON right now, we have quite many products. Here are some reference. We have certified for the CE rate and also for the FCC part B, but for the radio part. So this is something we can offer to our customers. So you can consider this product, you can already install on the site without further certification. Yeah, then this is the value we created together with Intel. Then we would like to share with you guys. Then at this moment, we do LTE because 5G right now is we are selecting the right module to do it. Yeah, so once we decide which 5G module we will do, then we will add it on our 5G platform as well. Okay, Keaton?
Yeah, thank you. Just wanted to be clear on the previous slide. Taylor, do we have any poll coming up on slide 11? Yeah. Okay, the question is, do you believe in open certification like WSK? And the answer is yes, 62% audience like about this process, and then 30 or 27%. I think it's still going on. I'll just wait a little bit. Yeah. All right, it's not moving anymore. So yeah, the answer is 67%. Audience says yes, they believe in wireless certification, wireless scaling kit certification process. Yeah, and then 33% no. Okay, cool. Thank you so much for the feedback. All right, let's move to the next slide. Okay, so this is kind of the journey. We started with LTE Wi-Fi, and we wanted to give you some data about the finding we had it from external labs and our certification lab in Intel. So we carefully studied, right? It's kind of an assessment. Why do we need wireless scaling kit, right? So this assessment is based on the study we have done it, and we offer this as part of the value prop. So basically, why you want to do a wireless scaling kit and what is the benefit of that, right? So look at this approach of legacy certification, right? All of you know who have handled radio devices, certification is important. And we mentioned about all the packages we have for certification, like regulatory. And regulatory is a must to launch devices in open market, like FCC CE, which enables a lot of markets and a lot of countries in Europe and Americas. So this is an easy way to hit the market, but still you bring a module and integrate that on the IoT device, you still need to go through a Delta certification. So we mentioned about the Delta certification on the device, right? So we are always considering a off-the-shelf module being integrated, and this will cost you at least $35K in terms of every device certification. And the schedule, there is a schedule impact for that. And again, if you don't have a certified lab, you have to go to an external lab and do all the certification, right? So similarly, for industry certification, the key bodies are PTCRB and GCF for Europe and US, Canada. And there is a cost attached to that, right? So you cannot leverage everything from module. And for some of the designs like M.2, there's USIM and other stuff which has to be done on the device. Antenna is changing from module to device, and you have to do the Delta. So we mentioned about the cost about, right? Again, it's a lot of cost, around 55K. Again, same time constraint in terms of doing certification. So after doing all this, still you need to pay money for the report generation, all the assessment work in the lab, right? So on a typical device which support LTE and Wi-Fi, it can be a low power mode device, or it can be, high-speed devices or advanced high-speed, like 1 gigabyte on LTE on advanced network. So those we have done the study, and we see that now every customer has to pay at least a minimum of $100K per device, right? And it's schedule consuming. Again, you do this work, it's not scalable because it's very device centric. All these devices have certain CPU and BIOS, software, hardware combinations, and these certifications are tied up with one particular devices. While we thought, why don't we disrupt this whole process, create something which is very scalable? So instead of doing this, we said, let's do wireless scaling kit, and our lab was behind this because we have a fully certified lab in Intel, which does all the regulatory certification for all these radios we talked about it. And we are looking forward to do more certification in 5G. And we are actively collecting feedback for that. So this is basically the secret sauce we have it with a wireless scaling kit, right? So all the antennas solutions are certified as a kit, Then we attach that to different IA platform. And remember, Erling showed a lot of platforms, and those are Intel based. And these solutions will leverage from the kit and go through a very quick assessment check. And sometimes you can leverage more. So for regulatory certification, there is a lot more leverage. For industry certification, there will be some spot checks. I mentioned that. But what is the key advantage of taking AAEON's or Intel's lead platform SKU is that in this case, basically these are all certified with the wireless scaling kit. You do not need to spend further certification effort, right? So you can scale the particular box with wireless scaling kit, and then it can, basically it will meet all the multiple use cases for different vertical and segments. So I want to be very clear, right? So on this slide that some of this regulatory certification are done on the Intel lab, and we work with some third-party labs to do industry certification. And for the carrier certification, I didn't code anything because we want to promote an open framework of certification. And then you can leverage this framework. And carriers are now looking into IoT devices seriously. They are changing this whole certification process to make it more friendly so that you can leverage this and do self-certification. So we are working with lot of partners to promote that, right? Just want to be clear on the AAEON side, right? So we explained you some of this slides with boxes with wireless scaling kit from AAEON. These have kind of predefined modules, right? LTE and Wi-Fi. So the key thing is that we always fix the antenna components of the wireless scaling kit. Then it's more scalable. If we make any changes, then it's not working out. So just want to be very clear. Okay, with that, Tyler, do we have any poll question on that? Okay, cool. So the question is, what wireless technology is important for your IoT devices to launch in open market, right? I'm just trying to be in the context of wireless scaling kit. We wanted to collect your feedback for certification. Good, interesting. Yeah, still moving on. All right, a little bit. Yeah, I see a progress now. We are we're very close to the end. Okay, so I see the voting is complete. Wi-Fi and LTE are taking lead, 77%. Very interesting. That's the market trend. Good to know that. And 5G also taking lead. Yeah, this is a little strange because when we sum up all these numbers, they're not 100. Okay, but anyway, we wanted to get your feedback, but 5G, LTE, Wi-Fi are still the lead technology. All right, so thank you so much for your feedback. Yeah, so these are related to certification. Erling will talk more about the devices, but we wanted to tell you that these devices are certified. Okay, so that's the IA pairing part of the whole puzzle, right? So the question is, how can we, add these kits, right? So this is an example, right? So we have wireless scaling kit here, which is being scaled to multiple IA platforms with different computing, edge accelerators with great software recipes we have with Intel. Then we work with our ecosystem partner, right? So we have a edge box with AAEON platform. So the key idea is that we always create kit solutions like market-ready developer kits and RFP-ready kits. They're always ready to market. You can go to Intel portal and find out the solutions we have it, and with our ecosystem partners. And those boxes are also, they're not just kits, they can scale to multiple verticals. So we have the verticals, we have it at Intel IoTG. The key idea is that once this is ready, then this can scale to multiple solutions, right? And then OEM, they leverage the certification, and they can scale multiple devices, all certification done in Intel lab for regulatory certification. Is there any other poll, Taylor, on the slide?
No, there's not.
Okay, cool. I think that's probably it. Ellen, to you.
Thank you. So I think today, I hope we cover a lot you would like to know about 5G. If there's some topic we didn't mention, then you can use the Q&A. We will try to answer here. Then you can also follow up very closely on our social media channel from AAEON and up. So there we will always post whenever we have a 5G model coming up. Yeah, then, if you still have a question about, what those certification means, do I need that? We have one very interesting short video to tell you, why you need to have a certification, then how we make it. Then for people who join today's webinar, I would like to offer something. So AAEON has certified quite a lot of models I introduced before. So we have a brand called Bridge the Gap. Then in the Up Shop, which we can ship in 7 days for your development, we have many models which are certified. Then we would like to offer 10% discount for you. So with the voucher code, certification percentage matters. Then when the checkout, you will receive 10% discount. The program is from today till 28th of November. So when you come to the Up Shop, www.up-shop.org. You can also Google Up Shop. Then in the technology driver, you will see IoT. Then here you can sort out what kind of a certification you care about. Then you can get the product which has been certified. Yeah, so I also want to advertise, we have a next webinar 1 month later about Yocto, and the AI box. So welcome to joining us. Then all of you will receive our invitation. So then let's go to our Q&A. So we see some question coming up. So thank you. Yes, we have an audience asked, will we share the recording video? Yes, for you people who join, you will receive it. Then we also have another question. How the 5G going to help reboot or conserve the environment, nature, resources? I'm not quite sure if I understand this question completely, but I think with 5G application, we have more control in our environment. So think about the IoT application. If we are able to have sensors in, let me give an example. We have a project to detect the water level on the tank, on the dam. Yeah, so once the water level is reached a certain level, then it will give a warning, then let the authority to take action. So it's the same. We also have the project which use AI to detect if there is a forest fire. All those are through IoT sensor, through the AI connection, but without 5G, all those things couldn't be instantly. You collect the data, you know what happened, but how can you send it out quickly? Yeah, so I think 5G is going to do the job. So how fast 5G is going to reach middle-class people in developing countries like India? Means affordable. How affordable 5G? I think for 5G, if you check them from the normal people, our consumer use, I think iPhone already introduced their 5G mobile phone. Yeah, so for people who can afford, they afford. Yeah, then, but from the industrial point of view, today our observation is a 5G communication module cost is still quite much more than 4G module. Yeah, so that's also the reason we are evaluating which 5G module should we choose for our wireless scaling program. Yeah, at this moment, 5G module, what we see is more than 5 times than 4G module. It's still quite expensive. We hope when it gets more popular, the price will go down. Does modem support the onboard SIM card or the SIM located AI on board? Okay, actually for the modem, nowadays for the even for 4G modem, LTE modem, more and more modem come without SIM slot. But we also understand in our embedded business, a lot of people still like to use a SIM card instead of eSIM. So when AAEON designed for the 5G model now, we all reserve a SIM slot on board. So even the 5G module doesn't have a SIM slot, no worry, AAEON's board will have a SIM slot on it. Okay, and the next question is a serial COM port on UpSquare series is a missing feature. Oh, thank you. You really support us and follow us very well. Yes, we understand that the serial port is something we really use in the industry. So I think very soon, in 1 or 2 months, you will start to hear our new product, which is called UpSquare Pro. It's still UpSquare board, but it comes with a lot of industrial features because UpSquare board is the most popular boards today with the widest software support and everything. So we are going to introduce the industrial version UpSquare board to the market. So today, if you already develop on the UpSquare board, then you can simply move your software to the UpSquare Pro. It will be very easy for you. Okay, so do we have any question? Okay, so if there's no more question, really appreciate everybody joining today's webinar. So I would like to encourage you sign up for our next webinar. Then I hope we will see you again. And thank you, Keaton, for joining us. It's really our pleasure to have you here. Thank you very much for today.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.